You're listening to the Harmony of We, a space for remembering what we already are together. I'm Greg Kuiper, counselor, author, and fellow traveler in this ongoing field of being human. This podcast isn't about fixing. It's not about getting relationships right. It's about coming into resonance with yourself, with each other, and with the presence that lives in between. This is where the book Relationship, the Harmony of We continues, in breath, in story, and in shared awareness. Welcome. I'm so glad to be with you here today. As we get started, let's all take a big breath together and just let it out slowly. Let everything go. One more time. Yeah, as we settle into this space between us. Over the last several episodes, we've been circling something, looking at it from different angles, through awareness, through safety, through vulnerability, and last week through attunement. And maybe you felt it, not as a concept, but as something you've experienced, something subtle but undeniable. A moment where connection is there, or a moment where it's not. And today, I want to slow down and name what we've been moving around. Because relationship is not only about you, and it's not only about the other person. There is something else happening, something in between. I call that the we. Not you and me, but the space between, the living, breathing, energetic field that forms whenever two people come into contact. And once you begin to notice it, you realize it's always there. You've walked into a room and immediately felt something, right? Tension or ease, distance, maybe warmth, before anyone said a word. You've sat with someone and felt completely at home or completely disconnected, even if the conversation sounded fine. That experience is the we. And this space isn't abstract. It's not philosophical. It's lived. It's felt. It's shaped by tone of voice, pace of speech, facial expression, attention, presence. It's shaped by what's happening inside each person and how those inner worlds meet or don't. And the important thing is this: the we is not something we create once. It's something that is forming moment by moment in every interaction, in every glance, in every pause, in every response. It's always moving, always responding, always reflecting something back to us. But most of us don't see it this way, right? We've been taught to focus on ourselves, our thoughts, our behaviors, or focus on the other person, what they're doing, what they're not doing, what needs to change. And while those things matter, they're not the whole picture, because what's often being missed is the space between. Think about the moment we explored recently with the couple in the kitchen. A simple request, a simple response, and how quickly that moment shifted, not because of what was said, but because of what wasn't felt. Because the we changed, it tightened, became reactive. And then, in another version of that same moment, something else happened. There was a pause, a noticing, a turning toward. And the we softened. It opened. It held both people. Same situation, different field. The we is responsive. It reacts to attention and presence, defensiveness, openness. It can feel safe or tense. It can feel distant, connected. And often we're responding to the feeling of the we without even realizing it. We say things like, something feels off, or I don't know what it is, but something's not right. That's not confusion. That's awareness. Everything we've talked about shapes this space. Emotional awareness, whether we know what we're feeling or we react without knowing. Safety, whether the nervous system feels like it can stay open or needs to protect. Vulnerability, whether something real is allowed to surface or it stays hidden. And attunement, whether that vulnerability is met or missed. All of these feed into the we. They shape the quality of the space between us. And this is where something shifts, because when we begin to feel the we begin to understand something important. We are not just responsible for ourselves, and we are not responsible for controlling the other person, but we are participants in the space between us. We are always contributing something to it, our presence, our attention, our reactivity, our openness. And this changes how we relate. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? Or what's wrong with them? We begin to ask, what's happening between us right now? What is the quality of this space? Is it tight, open, disconnected? Is it responsive? And that question brings us back into awareness. And maybe the shift isn't about fixing anything. Maybe it's about tending, like you would tend something living, not forcing it, not controlling it, but paying attention. Noticing when it tightens and when it opens. Noticing what happens when you rush versus when you slow down. Noticing what happens when you defend versus when you just stay. Even something as simple as pausing before you respond, softening your tone, making eye contact, saying, hey, I think we just missed each other. These small moments don't change communication, they change the we. And when the we is tended, you feel it. There's a sense of ease, a shared sense of space, a sense that you're not navigating the moment alone. And when it's not, you feel that too, disconnection, distance, effort, trying to bridge something that feels just out of reach. So maybe this is what we've been moving toward all along. Not just understanding ourselves, not just understanding others, but becoming aware of the space between, the we. Because that's where a relationship actually lives. Not in words alone, not in roles or expectations, but in the living field between two people. So, as you move through your week, just notice. Notice the we. Notice when it feels open. Notice when it feels distance. Notice what happens when you slow down, when you say, when you turn toward. Because often connection isn't something we create. It's something we tend together. See you next time.